Hey guys, what is up? So I just know that there's a lot of hate going on with Wargaming's customer support, and I just want to make a video about that because my experience with them in terms of getting ships. Hang on, let me just open up this thing here so I can see what I'm looking at here. In terms of getting ships and anything like that, has been really good. Um, and I just wanted to, because like I came on here before, and a lot of people are like, I was asking people in games, uh, when is customer support available? When is this available? When is that available? And they're like, customer support is so slow. And like they don't care about the community. They just respond whenever. Sometimes they don't respond. In my experience, customer support will respond within 24 hours of when you sent that when you sent a ticket in to customer support. And I tried researching online. I mean, I tried going on YouTube and actually searching for a video because I didn't know when customer support was available and stuff like that. So all you need to do is send a ticket in, and they should respond roughly within a couple days. I'm going to say the next day, even once they found your. So if you're responding out of a problem with the game, that may be um, that may be a reason why they're not responding, because maybe they might not find that issue or problem, like with submarines being in the game, or with certain things being in the game, like the Italian ships or whatever that are currently in the game now. If you find roughly a issue with that, with anything that they create, World of Warships, like with their ships not working, or with a certain line that you hate, realistically, how I look at it, a lot of ships in this game, you just need to find the right play style. Now, we all have certain play styles. Some of us like playing battleships, like the USS Missouri that you guys see on the video right now, and some of us like playing cruisers. Some of us like playing Tier 1. Some of us like playing in destroyers, subs. Wargaming, how I look at it, they are trying to please the community. They do not. They are trying to please the community. Yes, there is times where you have messages like, "We are trying to work on stuff. We are trying to work on this. We are trying to work on that," and that might not be pleasing to what you guys think is a good response. Like we all think of what a good response is, right? But like maybe that response is good for their community. Maybe that response is good for their community, where you need a more in-depth response. Maybe there's a certain way that Wargaming responds to us to make it more understanding rather than going to more in-depth. Because if they go into more in-depth, then that's okay. The speed of the Missouri is going to be this. The credits are going to be this. This is not working. They could do that. They could technically go into the game and go into that, but nobody is going to read a 5-page essay on like what is wrong with the game or what they need to improve on. They're just briefly saying that, okay, we know stuff is going on, but we're going to fix that. And Wargaming, some people just left the thing because of what they're not doing and what they're not. That's their opinion. That is not our opinion. on what we do with more warships. And it pretty much depends on you and what you feel. That if you think wargaming is pretty much not listening to you, then contact customer support. If you think wargaming is not doing something that they should be doing, or they made, or they're working on submarines, or they're a lot of people, okay, have jobs and have stuff to do outside of their job. So realistically, there's support. There is other people, obviously, we've seen in streams that don't work with a certain thing with wargaming, like the people who create the community contributors, they had no say in really what goes. In my opinion, they don't have any say what wargaming does, or what people leave the game, or what people aren't getting paid by wargaming. Some people are getting paid literally by the company to literally, that's their job. So wargaming is their job. It's not like they go home and they're constantly playing World Warships, or they're constantly doing stuff with the game. In terms of submarines, I think submarines are pretty much easy. I took out a ship, I think last time, and it's been way easier now than it was before, when we had the Halloween ships that were dropping things that were, those were kind of annoying, because like we had submarines, but it was like submarines weren't supporting anything, and you were submarines against battleships, or submarines against cruisers, or whatever, and you were the only submarine in the match, or basically the team wasn't helping. So if the team doesn't help you, then that could cause you, okay, this ship sucks, or this submarine sucks. But if you figure out in the long run to where submarines has come in the game, and to where how much wargaming puts into submarines, they want to make this game. Like, I'm excited for the New Jersey. I'm excited for certain ships, like the what's another ship that they haven't added yet? Gun ships. More gun ships that like they like the Erie, like tier 1 minesweepers and stuff like that, or you could pilot your own support ship or whatever. You gotta give a company time to, basically, yes, wargaming takes forever to update their ships and change this and change that and change whatever, but maybe it's a lot harder to do that than we think it is. Maybe we should buy. Okay, Massachusetts isn't available in the Armory now, right? Or in the premium shop. That means any other person that can't buy Massachusetts doesn't have the availability to buy Massachusetts. Now, is that fair to everybody else? No, but I mean, but we can't change that. But they're making it fair to the game, to where like there's not that many Massachusettses, or there's not that many of a certain ship playing in the game. That doesn't mean that they can leave the ship in and have like a million Massachusettses show up in the matches. So like, if you see Missouri showing up in the matches, or if you see certain ships showing up in the matches constantly, that means that that's a popular ship, and that means also that the way that they produce ships isn't the way that they put ships into the tiers and have like tier 8 ships versus tier 10 ships. So you have more Massachusettses than you do any other ship. Is that going to be fun for us? No. So that's why they take out ships and restrict people from getting Missouri and stuff like that, because Missouri is a popular ship. So not necessarily is it that they have Missouri in the game for a certain amount of time. They can't leave Missouri in the game for a certain amount of time, because they know that if they leave Missouri in the game for like coal or steel or free XP again, that Missouri is going to blow up, and it's going to not blow up, essentially be a crappy ship, but it's producing more credits. It's producing more stuff like that, and it's producing more credits. It's producing free XP. It's producing whatever it needs to, but it's not fair to the people that don't have the ability to get it. And plus, Missouri is the more likely one of the best ships in the game to have. So the reason why it's so expensive, even though they fixed it, is because so many people want it. It's not because the company needs more money, or the company is pretty much benefiting off of 3 different games. So World of Warplanes, World of Warships, and World of Tanks. So why would the company need more money? Why would they be taking advantage of their community? They can make Missouri $100. They made it the price of a tier 9 ship. So realistically, it's not overpriced for what it is or what it was or whatever people are saying. It's the price of a regular tier 9 ship. Now, there is this thing where you can actually, if you wanted to, pay $140 or so for Missouri and get it that way, or you can get Missouri in the Santa crates. It's just a better way of doing, like, it's just an easier way for companies to do that and to, like, so basically they're trying to make Missouri not as popular by adding her in less than every other ship. Now, if they add in the New Jersey, or if they add in, what's another ship? Massachusetts again, or if they add in whatever, but they're basically, we don't know, we don't have access to the amount of people that wargaming, or the amount of players that are playing Massachusetts. And you're basically telling everybody not to get Missouri when it's the regular price of a tier 9 ship. That's pretty much ridiculous, I think, because if somebody wanted Missouri for the longest time and they have to finish a mission, so they're making it fun. They're making it available for people. And it wasn't available for people at first, but they added it in there because, you know, if wargaming realistically, I think, yeah. Hi. And then they have a thing for that.
Are you doing okay?
Yeah. I'm just making a stream.
Oh, goodness, there's a lot of fruit flies in there, huh?
Again, later. I'm just making a stream now, so. Yeah, sorry. So if wargaming really, really wanted to make money on us, they would release the ship every Christmas. But because they release the ship now, that is better for people that have Missouri, right? So if you think about it, it's an easier way for people to get Missouri rather than paying upwards of $1,000 in crates that might not let you get Missouri. So realistically, if you think about it, in my opinion, the company isn't taking advantage of their player base. They are physically making it so Missouri doesn't show up in every single match. Now, there are certain ships that, like, okay, people play Minnesota, people play this, people play that, and there is certain ships that suck, and there is certain ships that are good. And the reason why the company does that is because that means that, okay, so there are a certain amount of tier 9 ships, right? Well, what if you versed Rama, or if you versed, what's another tier 9? Georgia, or Missouri, or Palmer? Wouldn't that be tiring? Versing that ship over and over and over and over again? Especially Missouri. I mean, if the whole game has Missouri, then how, like, people are going to be using Missouri. Like, I'm obviously going to be using Missouri now. This is one of my favorite ships, and I'm actually going to say it as my primary ship. So it is set there, and you see all these ships. So, hang on a second. Let me find Missouri again. So you see all these ships. So, I mean, really, wargaming is making it so we can't overpopulate the game with certain ships that are good. They're not preventing us from getting ships. They're making new ship lines as well. So if they really want us to pay for the company and pay them for what they do and pay them for this and pay them for that, they literally could. But they don't do that, do they? So really, I mean, realistically, you're basically complaining about how many 2,000 people when there's like so and so many people are complaining about Missouri. Really, that's not your streams and your posts about how crappy wargaming is. They're leaving because wargaming they're leaving because of their reasons. They're not leaving because of the company. They're not leaving because of us. They're not leaving because of whatever. That's a totally different side of World of Warships. That's what they have to go through. But like Little White Mouse and stuff like that, that's what they have to go through. And that's their decision. If they want to leave wargaming, they have the ability to leave it. That's their job. And they have the ability to leave that. How the company handles that, I could pretty much not write thank you, Little White Mouse, for making the things for that. That'll be, like, we fired you, but thank you for all that you've done. Like, I mean, like, why would people apologize for that? I mean, if the company, like, then it goes down to what you apologize for and stuff like that. So what's a good apology? What's a good this? What's a good that? You're always going to have that thing where, okay, this is not World of Warships apology. This is not a good apology to the community because it's the people's opinion. Now, in my opinion, I went through 4 days without getting Missouri, but I had contacted the company, and instead of paying $140, I got the ship for $77. Whereas thinking, well, if Wargaming can really screw me, they can say that, oh, you have the ship in the game already. You have to pay $70 extra to get a ship, and then you have to pay for the doubloons, or you have the doubloons. So you also have to pay $70 to get the ship. They could literally do that, but as you can see, they took the doubloons out of my account, and I have access to the ship, and I have access to doing modules and such. So realistically, I don't think Wargaming is a bad company. I don't think Wargaming is forcing us to pay whatever much. I mean, to run the server, to run their computers, to run the electric, to run the whatever they need to use to run this game costs a lot of money as well. So in terms of making ships and in terms of making, items and what wargaming does, they might not have enough money to pay for that because of what we're doing. Now, of course, people buy premium ships, they add premium ships, they add other ships, but maybe they don't have the time to make new premium ships because of their money issue, because they don't have enough money. Now, we might feel that they have enough money, but do they really have enough money to run World of Warships, to run World of Tanks? Now, it's also other games as well. Wargaming.net is a company, so they're not running just World of Warships. They're running World of Warplanes. They're running World of Tanks. They're running all that on one or more drives, one and more processors, one or more whatever. So they have to pay for that electric as well. So realistically, I buy model planes. And model planes are 60, 70, upwards, 1,000 money. So I don't really mind paying $20 for a ship, $30 for a ship. I totally understand. It takes time out of their day to make a ship. It takes time out of their day without their families to make a ship. This is their job, making the Missouri, making the Prince Idol Frederick, making the Dunkirk. But in terms of them adding certain missions, yeah, they need to add more missions. But realistically, they do that for the history. In my opinion, I would love to have submarines in the game. I don't think that's gonna wreck the game. It hasn't yet, obviously. It's annoying, but I've had submarines stay underwater when I was right on top of them in random or in a match, and they pretty much send their whole team over to kill me when the submarine couldn't come up. So I'm glad that there's a certain amount of time that submarines can dive for and avoid enemy ships for. In terms of everything else, they might not have. We're getting updates from Transformers. What's another company? Anime updates as well, which will also draw more people to this game that like anime. Hence, this camo that I have for my Congo. So think of also when you think of wargaming, when you think of a company that has to run many computers, many processors that break down, that could break down, that have issues, that don't have issues. Just think of how much wargaming also has to put into the electric that they use and stuff that they use rather their games. So maybe the line that they created is good enough to per se play, but it's not what you expected. But it's all they can do right now with the way that they set up their game and the way that they do certain things. So of course I know that wargaming does stuff that you guys don't like or that certain stuff, but it's not always wargaming's fault when they have to run the electric for the company, plus the electric for the game, plus add new ships, plus add new missions, plus add new stuff. That's a lot for a company to do, plus contact you, plus other things. So there's a lot of additional stuff besides adding ships, besides adding campaigns, and it takes a while for them to add the campaigns, add the ships, update the game, update this, update that. So I totally understand. I mean, think of us as creators and how long it takes us to edit our videos, to post, to think of stuff to post, to think of stuff to do, to make new planes. And for those of you who play X-Plane as well, think of how long it takes you to customize a plane, to make a plane. So, anyways, guys, that's my opinion on customer service. They are great no matter what. They are great for their company. I'm glad I could get this ship, which I can't find right now, but I know it's in here, and pay for, $170 plus for the company because, like, this is a good game. It's not a crappy game. And sure, it glitches, and sure, they do certain things that we might not like, but it's a part of World War II, and it's an arcade game. So, if you love submarines, then, like, that's a big part of World War II. Submarines, as well as PT boats, as well. They can add PT boats in here as well. They can add helicopters in here as well. They can add it's harder for us to move the guns, or what gun do you want to move. I play games where you have to upgrade the ship in the middle of the match. So you have a stock ship and you have to upgrade like your main guns or whatever as you're in the battle. That's complicated. So that's why I think, honestly, guys, of how Wargaming is as a company, as in my aspect of customer support. I know there's a lot of you guys that make posts and do certain things that Wargaming may not comment. I'm going to open this now as well. So as you can see, I got crates, I got, whatever, and we all know what's in here, free XP, but it's very good random stuff that always get free XP as well. And it's easier to grind, and I play grinding games, I play Roblox, and, it's just easier for certain things sometimes, and, we may feel that some things are annoying, but also, the company has a living too. They have families at home. Every single person that works at Wargaming has families. Some companies, some families, some people are sick sometimes. Some people, so it might take them longer. Like with COVID, right? The game still ran, even though they had less companies. So imagine Wargaming shutting down. And World of Tanks shutting down, and World of Warplanes shutting down. So they didn't. They kept the game running. So, they could have done that, but they didn't. So, basically, in my opinion, customer support, 10 out of 10. I haven't really had problems to where they wouldn't give me an item. I just talked to a friend, and he's still waiting for a certain item in the game, so I mean, if they really wanted to, like I said, they could have had me pay $170 for a ship that I had already access to in the game. But no, they had me pay $77 because they completed the campaign. So that's my opinion on the company and customer support of that company, and they will get back to you within 24 hours, in my opinion. That's the experience that I had of customer service. I just wanted to pretty much answer everything that I've seen on World of Warships, and I've seen in battles. I've seen that customer support is crap. It's not crap. I've had them respond 24 hours. Now, they may respond longer, but think of this. So many people are buying Missouri, right? So they only have a certain amount of time during the day that they can do things for other people as well. You're trying to get Missouri, this one is trying to get Missouri, that one's trying to get Missouri, this one needs help, that one needs help. So they're eventually going to get to you. They didn't say like, okay, if you contacted us by a certain time, we're not going to give you Missouri. They did not say that. So obviously, for those of you who are trying to get Missouri and have contacted customer support, you will get this amazing historic ship. And they won't, as far as I know, ask you to pay more for a ship that you have access to in the game when you already have it. So thank you guys for listening, and I hope you guys understand my point of view with customer support. And this is just my point of view, honestly. Hey, Marlo, what's up? So this is my point of view, honestly. And I saw you liked it, so I know one person agrees with me. So thank you, Marlo, for liking, or some people for liking this video. I just wanted to post. Now I know some people are gonna hate, but you know, that's my opinion, and that's what I think. And for me, making YouTube videos and TikTok videos and everything like that, it's fun. But yeah, you're what do you want to do? You know, what do you want to post? What do you want to, do in terms of like making these ships, in terms of what do you want to put your time into? People are putting their time into creating a game, but they also have to pay for electric. They also have to pay for their own electric. They also have to pay for, and they're companies. So does the company have enough money to put into World of Warships right now? Like it's just like crazy with the amount of people that, World of Warships sucks because they added in submarines, and they said they were never going to add submarines. Submarines are winning the game. But realistically, this is a World War II game. Submarines were a big part of adding in. Or hang on a second. We're a big part of World War II. So if people don't like battleships, if people don't like cruisers, and even the fake ships, guys, the fake ships, the Minnesota, the Kansas, the Vermont, those ships were actually going to be part of the U.S. Navy if the countries did not switch to those Tillman battleships. Now they're not accurate because they for the most part they're accurate, but those ships were actually going to be part of our Navy. So, and they were part of our Navy at some point before we got into these fast battleships. And people playing co-op, realistically, I know random gives you more, but it's not always about more points. It's about how much fun you're having in the game. So if you figure, why are they adding submarines when they said they're not going to? Well, here's my opinion. People might have people in the Navy, grandparents in the Navy that served on a certain submarine, and that's why they play the game. For my reason why I got into World of Warships, it wasn't because I liked ships. It was because I watched the movie Battleship, which I'll get into in the next review that I make of the USS Missouri. And until I get that video, find a good quality video for that, that's when that's going to be posted, when I have that cut and stuff like that. So yeah, that video should be up a little later than this one will be, but that video is definitely going to be up. So I just wanted to tell you guys my opinion, and like I said, I know there's other people on here that might think differently or might have their own opinion, and that's fine. But this is my opinion. This is what I think of the company, and I get it. We all want certain things. We all want the game. We all want PT boats, New Jersey, USS New Jersey. I want to finish my Iowa class battleships. So that means Missouri. That means Alabama. That doesn't mean Alabama, but that means, New Jersey and other Iowa class battleships. They could actually add missiles into the game as well, which the Missouri did have to the end of World War II, from what I know, from my thoughts about that. So they could also add torpedoes to the Aurora, because that front bump you see on the Aurora in the Oleg, I could show you guys real quick, was actually torpedoes. So the reason why they don't do that, as far as I know, is overpowered. So, however they make the game is however they make the game, and we can't change it, but, it's still fun. It's still a good game. So, what's their name left for a reason? Yes, it was because of the company, but that's their opinion, and that's why they left. So if they figure, okay, now we're going to have more issues with whatever, but, people are going to stay, people are going to come, people are going to go, people are going to stay, people are going to come, people are going to go. Same thing. I could quit my job right now. I could quit, I don't, do that. But, I could quit my job. I could quit whatever, and you could quit your job as well. But it's what we choose in our lifetime that really matters, that affects our life. And in terms of Little White Mouse, in terms of everybody who left, that's their decision. That's not wargaming. It's just like, okay, you left, okay, bye, whatever. They left because they don't see any upgrades in the game, or they don't see a certain thing going on in the game. That's the reason why they left. Little White Mouse could have stayed. Little White Mouse could have stayed and could have done whatever, but companies change over time. People change over time. We can't, as a community, change one person's idea of how they run their community. Does the game work? Yes. So just be happy that the game works and not worry about, the company and how the company handles stuff. Anyways, guys, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys understand my opinion about customer service and how the game runs and stuff like that. And my other review of the Missouri should be up probably this week sometime. So please wait for that. And I hope you guys like that video too, because I got like a bunch of stuff to tell you guys as well on why I got Missouri, and yeah. So, and why I got into World Warships anyways. So can't wait to make that video for you guys. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next review of the USS Missouri.